Hi crafty friends, Melissa Minor here. Thanks so much for joining me on my YouTube channel. Today I'm creating a layout for ColorCast designs using a gorgeous acrylic title piece. So let's go ahead and jump in and get started on today's layout. So for today's layout, I'm using this acrylic title piece from ColorCast Designs, and it has a heart and it says "Love this place." And it's in white, and this is available in the shop, so I will leave a link listed down below in the description box if you're interested. All right, I've got two photos that I want to scrapbook today, and this was my boyfriend Dale's first time visiting a Buc-ee's. So when we were on vacation this summer, we stopped at a Buc-ee's and he got the full experience. And while we were there, if you got your picture taken with the beaver, with Buc-ee, then you got a sticker. And so this is the sticker that you received, and you only got this if you got your picture taken. So he got in line to get his picture taken. So it was a fun moment that I want to document. And then I also have my daughter Tatum there on the right, and she got her picture and got a sticker as well. So for the layout, I went ahead and started with a 11.5 by 11.5 white cardstock. I've distressed the edges. I have a black border. Then I cut a black circle on my Cricut and this circle on my Cricut as well. And I was inspired by the sticker to create this design. So the yellow paper here with the dots on it, this is from the 49 and Market Vicki Boutin Flower Emporium. So I was really excited to see this yellow dot paper, and I thought that that really went well with this sticker, and I hadn't used this paper yet, so I thought, why not? So I did distress the edges on the black circle here and on the yellow, and I'm just adding a couple pencil lines here because I want to do some mixed media, and I want it in the upper left and the bottom right. I'm bringing in a Shimmers paint. This is Vibes, and this is Mustard Seed. I love this yellow color. I use it all the time. I have not pre-treated my cardstock, so it doesn't have any gesso or anything. So I'm just putting a few sprays on here. It's going to be simple mixed media. I'm adding a few splatters as well. Now I'm also on the Shimmers Paints design team, so I want to mention if you ever place an order on the Shimmers Paints website, you can add my name, Melissa Minor, to the notes section, and they will send you a free paint. You can add my name to every order you place, and each time you'll get another free paint. All right, for some black splatters, I am using this black luster brush from Scrapbook.com, and I really like the color that it gives. Another option that's good is the Shimmers Paints Black Hole. That's also a really good color. It's a really rich, deep black color. All right, so I went ahead and let that dry for just a moment, and since I didn't pre-treat this cardstock, it soaked into the paper and it dried rather quickly. So now I'm ready to start adhering my page together. So I'm going to glue this circle down. I'm putting it more towards the top. I did not want it centered because I do plan on doing some journaling at the bottom of the page, and I wanted to make sure that I left enough room for that. So I'm using some wet glue here to just adhere that together. Now I've got my two photos, and I got to figure out the placement. Now, since my photo on the right has a little bit of dead space, I figure I can overlap the one of Dale and Buc-ee on the left side onto that photo. So that's how I figured out my placement. Normally, since my daughter was looking in that direction, I would do it the other way, but I didn't have that dead space in the photo with Dale. Now, with me overlapping these photos just a bit, I feel like it leaves me a little pocket to embellish. So this title fits just perfectly down here in the bottom right. Now the title has these two add-in pieces. I can figure out the A. The A has a little triangle, but I'm not sure which direction this little insert for the P goes. So I apologize if I'm putting it in incorrectly. It's my layout, right? So there's no right or wrong way. I'm going to set that to the side just so I don't lose it. So that's the inner pieces. I'm just going to set it there until I figure out the placement for everything for this layout. So I've got my little title piece here, and I can't decide if I think I want it straight. I don't want it tilted, but my photos, maybe I'll tilt them just slightly. But I think this is pretty much how I want things. So I'm going to start gluing things down. I'm going to start with adhering my top photo, and I'm okay with it overlapping the edge of the circle a bit. So I'm going to try to repeat that, and my bottom photo, I want it just overlapping the circle just a little bit, going outside the circle. So let me go ahead and get this one in place, and then for my title, I pretty much want to leave it lined up with the bottom of that photo. Now, anytime I'm adhering acrylics, you got to make sure that the little backer piece is peeled off. So I was just rubbing the back of this, and the backer piece is peeled off. And I like to use this Nuvo Deluxe glue when I adhere my acrylics. I find that it dries super clear and it's very strong. So that's my glue of choice for gluing these down. I have seen other people also use glossy accents, excuse me. So that's also another option you could try. I've got my reverse tweezers here, and I'm going to go ahead and put those centers in. So I've got the little triangle portion here for the A, and then I'll place the center for the P. And I think I'm going to go with this. I can't decide if it goes sideways or up and down. I think I'm going to place it up and down, and I think that looks good. All right, so I have that glued in place, and I like the way that looks. I forgot that I wanted to add just a little bit of more red to this layout, so I grabbed a die from my stash. It's like this banner die and a piece of some scrap red cardstock, and I want to put these on the sides of my photos just to kind of ground them. Right now I feel like my photos are just floating in space, but by adding this little red banner, I feel like that kind of grounds it to the layout and it gives it a resting place. So I did adhere my photos down first, so I had to use my little spatula there. It's a Cricut spatula just to kind of pop up my photo. Now this one's going in a lot easier. And there, I think that that looks like they have a resting place now, and I like that it brings in more color. Now for my Buc-ee sticker, I feel like I want to add a little more substance to this sticker. So I am going to place it here on a piece of white cardstock, and then I'm going to trim the edges with my scissors, just fussy cut it out. And all of my pieces have been distressed on this layout, so I want to distress the sticker as well, and I can't really do that if it wasn't on a piece of cardstock. I also want to pop up this sticker, so in order to do that, I am going to have to put it on cardstock. I'm grabbing my edge distressing tool, and this is a tool I picked up off Amazon. I feel like there's many manufacturers that make these, but this is my distressing tool of choice. I will leave this and any other products that I use linked down below in the description box if you're interested. So I got a little too much white on this one, so let me just distress that. And then I'll add some foam to the back and we'll get this popped up. Now, since I had my photos arranged in this manner, it gives me that little pocket up there to nestle in this little sticker. I'm using some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. These are so nice. I'm just going to peel the backer off here, and this will give it a little bit of height. So this gives my layout a little bit of extra dimension. So let me place my sticker. I want to overlap my photo just a bit, and I like the way that looks. Now, what am I going to do for embellishments? I have more embellishments here. I've got the Vicki Boutin and 49 and Market Flower Emporium. This is like the puffy stickers. And since I had this collection out, and I didn't really have any other embellishments in mind, I think I want to use some of these arrows. So it's got these puffy arrows on this sticker sheet. And this is kind of a masculine type layout. So I feel like arrows are a good option for masculine layouts. You could use stars, arrows, banners, those types of things. I didn't really want to add florals because I don't think florals are that masculine, although you probably could. So I added one to the top, and what I do to the top, I want to repeat at the bottom. So I'm pointing an arrow to the Buc-ee sticker and then also to the Love This Place. So I thought that was kind of cute. There's also a couple little puffy dots, so I'm going to add a few of those. I debated on whether adding another black puffy sticker here, this arrow, but I just couldn't find a place that it really fits. So I'm going to put that back on the backer sheet. I'm going to add a few more of these dots. And then I found a couple hearts as well. So I was just popping out the center of the heart. So I'll put a heart up here. I found another heart. I'm using my glue tool here to just kind of pop the center out of that heart. And I'm struggling with it a bit, so I will wrangle with this off camera a little more. From the sticker sheet, I found some wordy bits, and that's another item that I like to elevate my pages with. I find that if I'm struggling finding what to embellish with, a few wordy bits always do the trick. So the one I placed on Dale's photo there says amazing, and then I found another one that says this is the best that I want to place on this photo, and I felt like down here at the bottom was a good place for it. So I have my two wordy bits, and I really like the way this is looking. You'll notice off camera I did place a little red heart to the bottom, like a full heart. And then I went in and did my journaling on my MacBook. I opened a text box and I just typed my journaling and size it how I want and print it out. So I wanted this to go pretty much across the page. My journaling says, Dale's very first trip to Buc-ee's. We couldn't leave without snacks, and of course, he went straight for the beaver nuts. If you haven't tried Buc-ee's beaver nuts, you're missing out, trust me. It didn't say that, but I'm adding that here. It was the perfect pit stop and such a fun memory from our adventure. So I usually print on some thin cardstock, but on this one, I just printed on printer paper. I'm using my adhesive and I'm just taping it down to the layout. So I believe this layout is complete and I love the way it turned out. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe and come back. And if you don't already follow me on Facebook and on Instagram, I would love for you to follow me on those platforms as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!